Having sat on this video for quite some time as the product ran into some bumps shortly after finishing up this video a year ago, the entire process of the video took a couple weeks, but only after a few months the Yoke had a fatal board issue. This had me concerned with releasing this video, which showed this in a positive light. Ace did not handle the second incident with failure of the board as they should have. Enjoy and stay tuned for the resolution at the end.
All right, so we got the Ace Yoke here. We're ready to do the unboxing. Came in new, so happy. See how it looks, and yeah, we'll go from there. All right, let's get into it. All right, so let's get into this. See what it's all about. So good. Got some good packing material up in here. So far, anyway. Almost like wood. Like this actually feels like some type of wood material. It's different. It's tooled, threaded, but okay. So this would be the checklist portion. Comes with a sticker. The sticker has the has the checklist items for the 737. Okay. Clamp. As you can see, definitely a piece of metal. So my guess is that the sticker needs to go on afterwards because the sticker helps hide the mounting screws. We'll figure that out. That's not something to be too concerned with just yet. All right. Holy cow! Yeah, it's got some weight to it. Oh, okay. So chunks falling out. That's not gonna be a good start. Not gonna be a good start. So whatever this is supposed to be, this is how it goes together. That's supposed to be around the yoke handle. Those pieces did not fare so well. Neither did this switch. If you look here, a bit of a scrape. Well, that's unfortunate. Look on the back side here. Definitely not perfect there. Not sure what that is. Moving on to, by the way, this box is in perfect condition. Really gonna blame it on delivery. That's some pretty crazy stuff right there. This piece looks pretty beat up. This piece looks pretty roughish. But this piece, I mean, this looks decent. So I don't know. Seems strange. Seems strange. But I don't know how, because that box is in perfect condition. Okay, so first thing coming out is a bracket. Now that bracket was protecting the shaft. Definitely got some. It's definitely got some stuff in here. Something tells me if we put this on a level square, we're not going to find it to be level. Definitely got some bends to it. Looking at it with an eyeball, it's definitely not. Now, will that affect it? Don't know. Because it's a clamp, because they're adjustable. As long as it sits flat, the clamp pieces come up. In theory, they would hold it in place. Alright, so right away, there is a visible scratch right here. Visible. It's a chunk, it's a bit of a ding. There's scratches. Is what it is, but there are some scratches. Now, sitting out the back is the bar for the yoke handle. No instructions. So in the box, in all the boxes, I should say, is you have to shove the yoke handle down onto this to then attach the cables inside of it. The whole design, as my understanding was, is the idea being that you could have multiple handles. It does require a little bit of finesse. It secures to it with some Allen screws. Gonna have to get this connected, plugged in, and see where it goes from there. Oh, I think I'm figuring out how this connector head was broken. It does not appear to go back down the head of the arm very well. So I'm wondering if that connector got cracked when they were trying to refeed it through. So that's what could have happened there. That little piece got chunked on its way back down through that hole. Either way, not exactly the best start here. The new yoke control wheel came. Looks solid, looks good. It was really nice of the guys. They were willing to ship it out for me, but the guys over at Ace. But I told them since I was going to be in Toronto in the area, maybe we could just meet up and swap it ourselves. So we did that in person on Saturday. Had a little bit of time. So control wheel seems solid. Buttons, everything seems good. Connector is there. Yoke and all the screws look good. So we're gonna go ahead, get this plugged in, connected to the base, and see how it goes from there. All right. Got the new yoke. It's pretty hefty, pretty nice. It's the 737 Ace yoke. So what we're going to be doing now is just flying it, really for the first time. I haven't even tried it yet. Bad, smooth. I did hit it with some lubricant. Not WD-40, or something else I found at Home Depot.
Right in use. Landing and departing. Runway 25, right, runway 25, left, runway 24.
So we basically took off with a tailwind. Not really a
So we are going to make a right base. Go ahead and pull our power back. Our airspeed. Okay. Flaps down. Flaps. Power's all the way out. So it's. I have read that some people went with some white or clear grease. You can definitely feel the springs in it. They don't have a good pull. I shouldn't say that. They don't have a good, solid bringing it back in. A little jarring. I mean, it's got a good weight to the overall yoke. I just wonder if maybe they needed a different spring. I can always go buy different springs if I really want to. But I did pay for this, so one would think that should be available to me. Okay, so happy lights here. Probably should be getting a scenery now. See that? There it is, right there. Very jerky on the yoke. Now, landing was good, but as I was entering the flare, flaps up, flare. It's not. There's this one little indent right there. Alright, let's not kill ourselves. Yeah, right here. I'm stuck right here. I have to pull just a little bit harder. It's like a... So I think this is where people were saying they needed the that white grease. So I think I'll go out and get some, see how it works out. Get around. Nice. I guess we could fly this from inside the cockpit so that people can see what it looks like. That would probably be smart. Alright. Power is coming out. Ooh. You can do 110 on 10 degrees of flaps. But you gotta be way lower on your drag. Pull back, pull back. Alright. Let's get our trim up. Alright, well, yes, we could always just slip it. We are doing a slip turn, and as we roll out of it, we coordinated with threshold. We're definitely high, but we have a very long runway. Alright. Definitely smooth. It's definitely got that weight to it. So the smaller adjustments definitely have... And pull, 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 pull. Yeah, definitely has a good feel to it. No question about it. Okay, so as we take off, fly runway heading. Let's fly that runway heading. Definitely can feel a bit of the... Definitely has a great feel on the soft touches. Because of the weight of it, you don't crank it just because the yoke is so light. When I fly with the Cessna yoke. So the SciTech Cessna yoke that I've got over here, it definitely has a feel to it, but it's light. There is a cap on the right hand side of the yoke. The yoke doesn't have a hat switch. It's got trim on the left hand side that look like a real Boeing trim. It's got an autopilot disengage button, just like a Boeing 737 yoke would have, and then it's got the trigger push to talk, just like a 737 yoke would have. On the right hand side for this captain's yoke, normally you would have little numbers so that you could dial in your flight number, like 451. Because those aren't here, they put a cap, but there's a cap and it is hollow. But you definitely can pop it. There's a Allen key. You can pull out this plastic thing. You could put in theoretically your own hat if you wanted to, or some other buttons if you wanted to have a few other buttons on the right hand side. See, I'm feeling it's stuck a little. Definitely have it made. Pull the throttle all the way out. Position nicely. Over 267. Wind's coming from the right, so left rudder, right aileron. 60. Ahead, easy on the rudders less. Okay. Let's go ahead and fire up the TBM. We'll stay in this cockpit view just so that we can see what it's like. Alright, we're going to go ahead and take the runway 24 left for departure. Rid of our master warning. So we power up. Let's get on that center line. Heels to the floor. Alright, power is full. Go ahead and get a heading sync. I mean, they call it 24 left, but it's really 250. Oh yeah, whoa! Rotate? Oh, that was weird. Okay. Let's go ahead and get our gear up. Flaps are coming up. Oh yeah, it's pretty smooth only with this plane. Pulling out. Let's go ahead and get our... Oh yeah, we weren't even in the green. Never set my rudder trim either. Let's go ahead and get the yaw dampener on. See the smoothness of this. Now this is the sports car. TBM is definitely the one of the premier general aviation planes. Pretty smooth, definitely smooth. Yeah, the little touches are really smooth with this yoke. Definitely smooth with this yoke. Hitting what, 51, 60 frames? It's not bad. I do like the TBM. It was worth the money. Now, I mean, I should start flying some other more serious planes. But I would say it's pretty darn smooth. What I've got going so far. It's probably not a big fan of being that low with the gear down.
500.
Okay. Speed's coming down nicely. Give yourself a little bit more power. Prop is full. Inner marker. Ahead, put that reverser in. So the yoke's definitely smooth. Definitely had the touch. Didn't overcorrect. And then yeah, coming in nice, smooth. Yeah, not too shabby. So we're on the ILS. Okay, there we go. Glide slope's coming in. We're a little bit low. A little dangerous, but okay. There it is. I'm going to go ahead and hit approach mode. Capture it. And let's go ahead and ride this in. Yourself a little bit more power. Alright, gear is down. Going into landing flap configuration. So, we have the runway in sight. We're on the glide path. We are on localizer. And we can fly this down to minimums, but I want to see. And yaw dampener's going off as well. The whole point of this was to see what this yoke is like when flying it. Hand flying it, that is. Alright. Just gotta stay on those happy feet on the rudders. Happy feet on the rudder. Just walking that down. And runway is made. Hold it. Hold that attitude. Okay, so So the yoke was definitely smooth. Definitely gave me the tactile feel needed. Ooh, they pulled a little too far back. I'm used to having to pull further. But maintain the attitude. Good landing. No complaints there. With that, we can definitely say that the 737 Ace yoke, the trim feels great, the push to talk feels great, the autopilot disengage is fantastic. I I will have to fly it again one more time tomorrow. Go get some of that white grease that we need. So that's what it looks like inside of the 737 Ace Yoke. And then back here, as I said before, there is a Leo Bondar board with a lot of extra hat switches, connections for a hat switch as well as connections for additional switches and axis. So you could theoretically put another hole in the backside. Now you'll notice there I'm using electrical tape because this just swivels in there. The screw doesn't hold it perfectly secure. And I had to use electrical tape because the USB connector could ground out if this just touched the edge. So using that just to do that. Then as I mentioned, a ton of white grease. We slapped it all on there. It's all on the rolling axis, and it's also on the aileron axis as well. You can see all up on those gears. And then I put some on the additional slider, a bunch of it at the front, and then a bunch of it at the rear. So now we're going to go ahead, close it up, and get back into the sim. Alright, so here we are. We've got the yoke now all nicely greased up, as we saw, moving nice and smoothly. Got that autopilot disconnect, those nice trim switches, push to talk switch, checklist, all metal, bolts on nicely. Feels really good now that it's hard mounted. As you can see, the height of it is basically identical to a Cytec height, but it's a lot narrower, so I'm going to have to modify and fill in the sides, but all in all it's pretty good. So that weight feels really nice, really smooth, good rotation. It's very, very good. Can't complain. So here we are. We're on 33 right. We're about to take the runway. What we're going to do is try to do a couple of touch and goes, and then we'll head off for Ottawa. Everything has been programmed in, so the FMC is good to go. But for now, we'll just fly this, do a couple of right-hand circuits, and see how we can do. Pay attention to the runway and not look down. Alright, here we go. We're off. We want to go ahead. Normally we'd have altitude, normally we'd have toga. Here we are, rotate speed. Alright, up we go. Nice and smooth. So, definitely feels smooth. Gears going up. Flaps are going up. Get our trim going. Got our nose down, trim happening nicely. Trim switch is really good.
Too low. Terrain.
And of course we got our ground proximity alert.
Terrain.
What do you mean terrain? I'm on the climb. Back into the manual power range. Alright, so we're going to go ahead. Bank to our left. Nice little shot out the nose. This is a great view for just how smooth the yoke is. It is quite smooth. Maybe I'll look for some different springs or some other mechanism, but all in all, it's quite smooth. Okay, but we don't want to climb too much more. Very, very accurate. The yoke gives you that solid feel that you just don't get from the lighter yokes. Definitely a good feeling. Use this as the preferred flying tool, so to speak. So now we're going to head into the airport. You can see it off in the distance there. We move forward, you can see there's the lights out in the distance. Go ahead and the weight definitely gives you that smooth feeling.
Terrain.
Alright, there we go.
Terrain. Terrain.
Back on the glide path. Okay.
Terrain. Terrain. 500.
500.
Terrain.
Continue. Yeah, so
4.
the weight is just, and it's
Terrain.
dialing in very accurately. Let's get that rudder
800.
kicked out.
Terrain. Terrain.
200.
Below. Power in.
Terrain.
100.
Terrain.
50.
Back on
Terrain.
the center line.
30. 20. 10.
Okay, so we're down. Go ahead. And power goes full. Speed brake goes in.
4,000 feet
And
remaining. 3,000 feet remaining.
all right. So definitely was smooth. Obviously the little bit of a bounce is on me. The yoke was definitely more than I expected. It was behaving the way we would anticipate it to behave. No question about that. Very happy with the result. So let's go ahead and climb on out to our heading. I'm gonna follow. I'm gonna go ahead and put in our nav mode. Go ahead and put in our altitude mode. And go ahead and head on out. Right path. Alright, I'll catch you guys on the way into Ottawa, and we'll do one more approach with the yoke and see how it's doing.
Terrain.
The wind's like to the left a little bit, but at about
Terrain.
20 knots, so is something to be aware of. I'm gonna
Terrain.
throttle back a little bit.
1,000.
Terrain.
Okay. 1,000.
Terrain. Terrain.
Approaching. 3,
Terrain.
2,
Terrain. Terrain.
Spoilers are out.
Terrain.
500.
Spoilers are in.
Terrain.
400.
Terrain.
Yaw dampener goes off.
300.
We can fly this.
Terrain.
200.
Alright.
Sink rate.
100.
Terrain.
50. 40.
Terrain.
30. 20. Minimums.
Alright. Gotta get those cursors in. Definitely feel like the yoke made a big difference. I think it was a great landing. Smooth because of the yoke. The weight of it gives you that strong feeling without having overcorrection because of too much power from your arms with a very light yoke. This requires a lot of input, and with that large step of 4096, it does mean that you've got more to work with. Definitely think it's a worthwhile investment for those who need to invest in, well, choose to invest in a higher price yoke. It is available to you. Yeah, so let's go ahead and just stop here for now. So definitely the control aspect, just subtle tweaks, being able to dial in just a little bit, not having to put too much into it, allow it to float itself down, maintaining that profile. Let the engines come out. Just easily lay into it. No major hiccups there. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this. We're going to go off with saying that definitely think that the Ace yoke, it's in that middle park of performance versus a couple of things that you have to deal with. For those of us who build our sims and like to configure stuff, I guess it's not so bad. In the sense that you have to get in there, put some grease on it, maybe deal with the fact that the connector's a little loose and just modify that yourself. But all in all, the feel is really good. The switches and the connectors are really good. It's all metal. It's got that weight. It definitely feels much better than the ProFlight yoke by far from SciTech. That thing was not really that great as far as I was concerned. I did get my hands on a Cessna yoke just before SciTech had acquired them, and so that one, which gave you the larger range, the 90 degree as opposed to 45, and had a little bit longer push and pull. And I still have that yoke as well, and it's on the second side, but this is by far a much better product. Really impressed by it. Yeah, not much more you can say. So anyway, that's my thorough review of the Ace 737 yoke. Also looking forward, hopefully one day, to when they've got a couple other yoke handle control wheels available. Maybe I'll get myself a nice ram horn version of it. Interchange them would be kind of cool. All right. Well, thanks a lot, guys, and have a great day. Alright, so the Leo Bodner, the new Leo Bodner board is now installed, and you'll notice I've applied a bunch of hot glue all around that edge, and the reason for that, let me zoom in and focus on it, is to try to make it so that that board no longer moves about, so now that connector won't move. You'll notice I put a ton of electrical tape around the edge to seal that off. I'm wondering if somehow USB may have grounded it out. Doubt it, but if it did ground it out, I don't want that taking place again and ruining another Leo Bodner board. Again, the guys at Leo Bodner handled this situation really great. They just had me send them a picture of the board, and they mailed the unit out to me right away. They saw the picture, they knew where it came from, and they had no problem, they just shipped it out. But even as of this writing, it's now, or writing this reading, it's now June 16th, and I still have not heard back from Ace 737. So the guys at Ace, who I've actually met one of them in person, still has not responded to me. But I'm moving ahead with my project, gonna get this finished up and put back into the sim.
With everything I've gone through with this product, and even with that metal construction and for most part a solid build, I cannot recommend that anybody give them money. There's just too many things that have gone wrong, and the way they've followed up has not measured up to what a company needs to do. Further, having read on AvSim other people who have fared much worse, I was at least able to get the product that I paid for, but even after it failed, it was only the goodness of the people of Leo Bodnar that helped me resolve and get it working again. So this is a do not buy.